Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Manufacture Mode. Alright, last episode we did the gold milestone, and now I have to assemble those into full shapes and then send them to make Aquamarine. We just need a full gold thing, that shape, and that shape. Now I realize what I've been doing is kind of unoptimal. Like I've been going all around places to find full shapes, and then paint and whatnot. But what I could be doing is mining a whole bunch of shapes, sending them to one place, and then sending those to the trade stations. Maybe I'll do that for manufacturer hard mode when it actually matters. Let's turn these into full shapes and see how hard that is. Also, apparently I don't have the third floor of these emeralds. Let me go find out why. Because I don't have the third floor of this shape. I bet I improved everything except for that, so that's probably why. Circles have been upgraded, and squares have been upgraded. Okay, here's a layout. It's not gonna work, I just realized. That still won't work because I have to actually input this stuff. So here's the blueprint. It takes that quarter and then swaps them into that bottom half shape. Now, I don't know if it'll work if I do this, but let's try it. It's the bottom half. If I mirror it, it's the top half. I have an idea. Alright, by putting rotators there, these are now on the right half. And because I couldn't fit some rotators here, I moved them over there. Now I'm going to copy that, mirror it over there. And that's the left half. And then I'm going to paste those together, like that. Never mind. And it's over on that side now. Nice. So here I have left half shapes, and these are on the right half. When they get swapped together, they're all on the left half. If I replace the 180 rotator with a belt, yes, it is correct. That was slightly overcomplicated, but it's fine.
You stupid!
Don't forget to paste this on all 3 layers. And now if I copy paste all this, it should work. So there's a full space belt of gold, and these have been yelling at me to claim them, so I'm gonna claim them. Wow, I got a lot of levels off that. I don't know what to buy, so overflow splitter, train speed, train capacity, more train capacity, blocky platforms, fluid wagons, secondary colors, and it looks like that's about it. Ow. Alright, well, we have that now, and I could send them to a trade station now, but I won't. Instead, what I'm going to do is go over here, because this is the same as that shape mostly. By the way, this has still not showed up on the 3rd layer. Oh, now it just did. What a coincidence. Anyway, I'm going to mine some of this and then paint it yellow. Am I silly? I am making too much paint. This is going to be way overkill on yellow. Using my new fluid wagons, I'm going to ship this yellow all the way up here. Oh yeah, I can use my space belt painter now, I forgot. Space belt of that. Now in order to get the red diamond, I've got a diamond and red right here. Here's a red diamond. Now if I stack these together, I will then get this mostly, right after you get that quarter star. I'm going to stack those stars together with these, and I'm going to stack the diamonds. Actually, they have to go below that. So like this. There we go. Once again, I'm leaving absolutely no room for expandability. It's fine, it'll work out. Now we need a full yellow circle and that shape. I'm noticing a lot of these around. They have a square and a circle. Down here I can just get a full yellow circle because I'm making yellow right there, and there's a full circle right here. That looks like a good place to put a painter. Here's a yellow circle. I guess the only real way to get those squares is by using a shape like this and then painting it yellow. Because again, I do have yellow right here. I just realized I don't even need a full space belt, I only need half a space belt because I'm gonna paint it full yellow and then cut into bow ties. Here is a yellow square, and because I don't care anymore, I'm building it right over there. And since I have the overflow splitter, I'm going to use this. Bow tie makers. Here's that shape. Then I need a bow tie circles to go along with it. This will go all the way over and get stacked right here. You know, I can just stack them together right here since I have both of the parts. Sure, why not? The circle will go across. And here's that shape. If you're wondering why I don't care about expandability right now, it's because I decided what I'm building is suboptimal, so I don't care anymore. I promise I'll be more optimal in hard mode. Okay, I really should not have built like this. But I don't have the brain power to build optimally right now, so I guess we're not. Alright, so I got one part right there, and the exotics right there. And I don't know where I'm going to build the aquamarine stations. How about in the middle of all of them? That seems good. Right here. Gold goes in there, this shape there, this shape there. Well, since I've got this shape right here, let's plug it in right now. You know, what they did here is pretty cool. I won't lie. They put these walls here so you can't, like, easily bridge through them. If I take my blue line out and then send it right here, now I don't know how I'm gonna input these. Okay, I moved that belt, so now I can go through here. Okay, this is probably the least optimal way you could have done that. I'm gonna build it right over this asteroid because who cares? Oh, that's done. Gold in there and in here. And that's all 3 shapes plugged in. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna do over here when I get half a shape out of this. If I'm gonna keep getting 1 space belt of output for every trade station, then I'm gonna need 2 of these, which means I can need even more of all the other ones. But look what I built over there. Thank you, autosave. So maybe that's a lesson learned. Build optimally even when you already build suboptimally. Ow. And that shape is done. One other idea I had was, instead of making like the shapes somewhere else and then shipping them over, what I could do is have a stackable blueprint, for example. Let's say all of this is the blueprint, and what I can do is feed shapes into wherever, and then it'll make that shape and then input it directly. This one will make that shape and put it directly. And then all I have to do is plug in the exotics like that. And this thing will be tileable, so I can do kind of like this. That's probably something to consider for hard mode. Another optimization we have to keep in mind. Also, taking a look at the alternate trade station for this, I'm going to get a full shape and 1/4, which is going to be super difficult to do the math on. And as you know, math is not my strong suit. I'll probably have to do complicated numbers like this and manufacture hard for the regular trade stations, not even for the alternate ones, and I'm not looking forward to that. By the way, might I bring your attention to the Amethyst B station? It has a floating crystal. I think the shape should be reworked because I don't think someone playing normal difficulty will expect to be able to make that. I think even a shape like this would be a little too complicated for a normal scenario, and it looks like that's done. And also, that's not mentioning the fact that you have to make 2 of those. Well, anyway, let's claim Amethyst and 3rd space level. Got an achievement too. Amethyst processing demands vertical expansion. The 3rd space level is now available. Use it wisely. These stations are demanding. But then again, so is rebuilding an entire vortex platform from scratch. No matter how many times you say it, it's not going to be my fault because I don't even know what happened. Taking a look at this, we can probably do something like this, where they're all in a line and then it'll just work. These shapes also don't look too hard to make, it's just aqua and some white. Alright, we have to get this shape. Well, honestly, I could probably do that over here. I can make this, mirror it, and then stack it. And I have so much circles here for all of those. I think the only thing I'm missing now is a full star. Well, I can ship a star from somewhere else. I think this is a really good place to make the things. Using this setup, we can turn 2 of these into 1 of those. Once again, 2 belts bounce onto 3 floors. Let's make some cyan. Unfortunately, I used most of that green, so I can just use this one, it's fine. This is probably more than enough green. And that's probably more than enough blue. Lots of cyan, that's probably the wrong number of mixers, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter. Oh, and if I want to make white, I'm gonna need more paint. Right. How about I make some white over here? Plenty of red. Plenty of green. Don't mind how I'm just slapping that blueprint on top of the asteroid in the middle of it. I just can't be bothered. Also, this is gonna be a really long pipe. It is so nice just being able to slide everything across. Well, anyway, here's a lot of white. Once again, probably the wrong number of mixers. Also, since I really don't know what to spend my research credits on, I'm going to get more platform capacity. 10,000 is a lot though. I'm gonna hold off on buying that. Why don't I unlock the new B stations, even though I'm not gonna use them? How about the white color? Just one train color for almost 5,000 research credits. I need to stop getting distracted. Alright, we are now making a crap ton of white paint. It's going onto a white train, and I'm gonna send this somewhere. I don't know where yet. Oh yeah, I decided I was gonna make all the parts over here. I guess I can unload the white right over there. And I need a lot of circles, so I'm just gonna paste this in the middle of the asteroid again. I need 3 space belts of circles, 1 for that and 2 for those. I'm gonna take one of these circles and stack it on top of this shape. Then I'll take some white and then paint it, and that should be one prerequisite. There it is. Both of these circles have to be painted white. And lastly, I need a cyan star. And I do not know where I'm going to get a full star from because all the asteroids around here are only quarter stars. It's a half star, but it's better than a quarter star, I guess. Here's a full star from that asteroid. This autosave has been bugging me. If I get a painter right here, I can use some of this aqua. And then I have to stack these in the right order. So, circles on the bottom, these stars on top, and then another circle on top. Huge. And I'm still not planning for expandability, if you couldn't tell. And here's a great idea. I'm going to send those shapes over here because I have more shapes over here. Alright, here are all the shapes for Amethyst. I'm going to do this setup, which allows me to slide that across, and slide that across, and slide that across, and slide that across, and then slide that across, and slide that across. I should be getting a full space belt of amethyst out of that. Alright, now I'm gonna wait for that to go up, and if you're wondering what I'm gonna do once I have to expand, literally next milestone, I don't know. Also, I never checked on the efficiency of like anything, but it looks like that's max efficiency. It looks like this is not. Yep. Oh, it's because all the stars are not balanced. Let me go fix that. Really didn't think this would make that much of a difference. And here's an even better idea. I'm going to move that and then merge them before distributing them like this. It looks like that's done. What this will do is, even though these are unbalanced, just gonna go and distribute evenly here anyway. I just checked on this for the first time and it looks like only the third layer is going through. I don't know how this happened. It looks like these platforms are not balanced onto the 3 floors. I don't know how that's possible. And that's done while I'm still fixing this. Alright, that was a nightmare to balance onto 3 floors, but I finally got it to work. I copied this from another miner up there, and it looks like there's some infrastructure on it that I never deleted because I'm stupid. Well, on top of that being wrong, I only pasted 11 of these, so it wasn't even a full space belt, it was like 90%. Hopefully soon all of my issues are resolved. Oh my god, that is completely empty. Man, my favorite part about building all this stuff is that once you check back on it after like an hour, it's broken. Like for example, did you know that the third layer of this is not even working? It's because this still does not have the shapes on the third layer, even though I literally fixed that so long ago. Because the problem traces all the way back to the sapphire exotics. Because the problem traces to me not having any red exotics plugged in. How did this happen exactly? Fine. Have it your way. That's one thing I kind of don't really like about manufacture mode, is that if you messed up making a ruby and then don't realize it, you're gonna have slow production all the way until the end. Of course that can be solved by not being stupid, but in case you couldn't tell, I am pretty stupid. Boy, I sure do love waiting for problems to resolve themselves. And it looks like I have run out of white. That is a big problem. It's because I only have 1 train. Well, that's easily fixable with 4 trains. Oh, look at that. A full space belt. Let's watch this happen. Done. Should have been done 10 minutes ago. But better late than never, as they say. Diamonds and support pins. Diamonds. The traders save these contacts for operators who prove themselves. The diamond station requires shapes with support pins. Intricate work, but the payout reflects it. You're getting closer, the grand assembler is almost within reach. Let's take a look. We need an amethyst, we need that shape, we need that shape, and we need that shape. First one to need 3 inputs other than the exotic. Since we did 2 milestones today, I think I'm going to call it for this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to do diamonds and then get a full space build of a full diamond exotic. I'm going to go back and probably upgrade everything, throwing at twice the capacity so I can get a full space build of a full shape. And that's not going to be very easy considering, again, this. Well, I'll figure it out. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do everything. Thanks for watching.